Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our full Elden Ring walkthrough adventure. I'm your host, the Mad Pumpkin, and for today we're going to continue our journey through Castle Morne. So in the last episode we have cleared all the upper parts and the walls of the Castle Morne, and now the only way to go next is down. So you're going to see as soon as you walk to the edge here, you're going to see a place where you can drop off. So yeah, you can just go ahead and do that. Drop off. We rested at the Grace. Yeah, okay, nice. Okay, so when you get to this area right here, there's two ways that you can go. One is through here, but you're gonna have to get a running start and jump because there's a hole right here. And the second way that you can go is this way, down here. So don't worry, there will be I would recommend, if you jump this way, you're gonna miss an item that's gonna be on the rafters here, right? There it is, right? If you jump directly there, there's gonna be a hole in the roof. You can see it from here, but I'm just gonna show you guys. So you go through that hole in the roof, and you go down inside of that building. But there's a regular entrance into the building. So I would definitely recommend just walking off of here because with this approach you don't waste any time running back and looting the items. And the way to go down from here is, if you see those barrels down there, just walk on them. They're gonna soften your land. So let's see. Okay, so here we have some misbegottens. In this little crevice here you have these little prickly gooey things. You can take your time, explore. They're gonna be super slow getting to you. So what I would recommend you do is, I don't think it's very hard to wake them up. They're gonna wake up once you pull that misbegotten right there, the big guy. So I would definitely recommend clearing out these guys first. You can backstep this guy, and the gooey thing is gonna fall from there. We can actually see it. See, it's moving up there. So as soon as you grab that item, it's gonna drop down. So pick it up and immediately run away. Let's see what this ghost has to say. Please help me. I'm of noble blood. This guy's gonna... If those hideous mongrels eat me, I'll be forever marred. So I just keep running away from this guy. Anything but that, please. Think of the disgrace. So yeah, he's saying that the misbegottens, they're gonna mar him if he's sent to them. So being sent to the misbegottens is kind of like a punishment, if I understood this correctly. I could be wrong, so you guys can fact check me on that. I don't mind at all. So definitely before dealing with big chungus over there, clear out the small guys. And I've tried to sneak up on this guy several times, but I've never actually managed to do it. So I'm just gonna buff up my armament with some magic damage. He has a lot of poise, and a lot of wind up to his attacks, so just keep an eye out. Try to time your dodge to his swing, because even though his wind up is big, the swing is pretty predictable, right? So you can actually kind of figure out when to dodge it. But this misbegotten is specifically taking his sweet time, taking a swing. So just keep an eye on that. And you're gonna have a chest here. Let's see what we get. We get the Twin Blade Talisman, which is funny because we are wearing a Twin Blade. So let's go ahead and take a look. A talisman depicting a Twin Blade and a Confessor enhances the final hit, ending a chain of attacks. The Twin Blade technique is a tradition of the Confessors, who closely guard the secret of how they preserve the momentum of their attacks. Thus is the final strike of their onslaught all the more deadly. So you're gonna notice that from the item description, it's mentioning Confessors, the starting class that you can pick from the character creation screen. So Confessors were kind of, they were holy assassins, right? They would combine their assassin and stealthy techniques in service to the Earth Tree by using their incantations with their seal. and they would, in that manner, execute justice for the Golden Order, right? So that's why Twin Blade is kind of one of the most favorite weapons of choice for the Confessors, right? So you saw me down there, up there. We jumped down to this building right here. Not going to take any damage, and even if you do, they put a neat little scarab of Crimson Flasks here, so you can refill. So from here, you just go down these cliffs all the way to the bottom. I would definitely recommend jumping because there is like a little gap, so just walking off could potentially be lethal. Like, the gap is super small, but you could fall through it if you just like walk off. So get a running start, get a jump down, just to be safe. And we end up over here, so there is a way to jump down here. Let me just turn on my lantern. So you have a ledge, like a beam here. Just walk onto it. There's an item. We get some splitting stones. That's always nice. And we have to align with this beam. Jumping down there, I don't think it'll kill you, but it'll do some damage to you, and it won't give you the time to prepare for what's down there. You see a Misbegotten here. You see a rat here. Unfortunately, they're not the only ones. There's much more. However, what we're gonna do is following. We're gonna actually jump down and immediately run out of the building to get out in the open, so we can have more space fighting everything that heads our way. So just jump down here and immediately run out. And I'm actually gonna switch to my Glintstone Arc because more of them are coming, and we have a nice little AoE way of dealing with them. And that's kind of a foolproof way of dealing with the nastiness in this room. So here you got two more rats. You got this guy sleeping. Go ahead and get rid of the guy. We're gonna wake the rats, but that's fine. We can resort to our Glintstone Arc yet again. Unfortunately, this rat kind of evaded us, but that's going to be fine. You did not give me a second I needed to get my shield up. And we pick up the whip. Let's go ahead and take a look. Let me just see if the coast is clear. It should be. Okay, nice. First the butterflies. And let's go take a look at the whip. A leather whip. Not originally used for combat, but as an instrument of pain. Though its supple attacks cannot be thwarted by parrying or even guarding, it is incapable of dealing critical hits. So yeah, just like the description says, you can't parry this, you can't even block this, but you can't crit with this either. It's, interestingly enough, it's dealing strike damage, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and showcase it for you guys because it is a cool weapon to use. Like, look at this. This is like the string of light attacks. You have the charge. You have the jumping heavy, jumping light attack. You get the running attack. You got the running heavy attack. It's a generally very cool item to use, but I don't think I'll be using it. At least not this one. There are other weapons of whip persuasion that you can get throughout the game. So we might actually go ahead and explore a bit with some other whips because they do seem fun, definitely, and they have a lot of range and a lot of area of effect of their strikes. So they could be used effectively in large groups of enemies. So we're pretty far off from leveling up. So we're just gonna go ahead and pick up this grace, rest. So the enemies here have respawned, but if you like, I'm just gonna sneak and pick up my butterflies. If you like, keep your distance from the room, you're not gonna anger them, right? So just sneak a little bit. And over here, I believe we have one flying Misbegotten, or two. Let's go ahead and sneak. So we have the sleeping big guy. Ah! Okay, he's awakened. Okay. So you see, the flying one is shooting arrows at us. Oh my god. Exactly what I said. He is taking his sweet time winding up his attacks. So always raise your shield up in case you manage to miss the roll. Like I keep doing for some reason. Oh man, I fell fell down to the jellyfish. So he's gonna probably make the jellyfish hostile by attacking him, so I'm just gonna run back here. Okay. Okay, so now... And the other one fell. That's kind of unfortunate. Be careful if you fall and battle him here. God damn it, that wind-up is so annoying. If you fall, there is like a cutoff from the beach area. And you might just fall to your death, because our Tarnished cannot swim. See, he's flying over the thing right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and... Seriously, the moment I switch to my ranged weapon, you decide to go melee. That's disgusting. That's just disgusting. Now, unfortunately, we did lose a lot of flasks there, but we will rest before continuing further. There should be a ladder, I think on this side, to get you up there. So you can actually just take the ladder down and instead of falling down when you're done with that place. So let me just go ahead. I think there was an item here. Yep. So we'll actually just go ahead and clear the rest of this area. And then we'll go teleport at the Grace, rest, and you should be able to see a boss room. Not on this side, I think it's on the other side. So when you are in this area, it's a good thing to look down, just so you can see where the kind of walkable area is. So that right there, that is the boss arena. And you can actually see the boss there. It's one of the Misbegottens. A red-haired Misbegotten, which is kind of something lore specific, to be quite honest. There are quite several speculations as to the origin of his red hair. And I think we'll actually get a moment to contemplate on that. But for the time being, let's go around this side. So before you cross the bridge, there's an area here as well. You can clear some stuff out. There's gonna be a crab spawning here somewhere, like a big crab, so just be careful. Okay, so it's not here. It should be where an item is, so it's on the other side. You can mess with the crab, or you don't have to mess with the crab. You can easily outrun it if you just stay on the area. So somewhere right there where that third furthest crab is, that's where the big crab is gonna jump at you from below the ground. So what I would recommend you to do, they've done this very neatly. See? There's an item tucked here in the dead end. Run in, pick up the item, run with your shield, and just keep running. Hug the walls, that way you are certain to stay afloat and not fall into your death. And just come back here, climb the ladder, and you're gonna be safe. And so that's pretty much it. That's all the remaining items around. So if you took some damage from the Misbegottens or the crab or anything else, you can just go ahead and run back here, rest of the Grace, and then you can just run straight to the boss. You won't even have to trigger the Misbegottens there. So I'm just gonna rest at the Grace here. And we're gonna go tackle the boss. So I'm not, pretty sure that we don't have enough to level up. So if you want to fight this boss, get to this boss without dealing with all the nuisances ahead of you, you can do it simply by stepping onto the bridge and immediately jumping to your left, and just follow the pathway that's leading you to the boss room. So let's prepare before dealing with the boss. I'm actually gonna pop Exalted Flesh, just so we can do a bit more damage. Can we craft something useful? Let's go ahead and take a look. So this boss is moving pretty fast, so any kind of pots are not gonna be that helpful. Maybe Rancor pot. Wait, it's scaling with intelligence. Actually, I think this is a good opportunity to try out the Rancor pots. Oh man, do we have pots already created? Why do we have only one cracked pot available? That's kind of weird, right? It's not the pots that we're missing, it's the human bone shard that we're missing. So we'll just create one and throw it. And there's a specific reason why I'm, after saying pots are not going to be helpful, and why I'm using these pots. And you're going to see as soon as I enter the room. And let's actually swap out our talisman as well. So let me see. Radiant Amber. So honestly, at this point, I think the best talisman would even be the Twin Blade at this point. So let's just go ahead and try it out. Okay, so first we're gonna pop Exalted Flesh. Then we're gonna prepare our ashes. And we're gonna fight Leonine Misbegotten. So let me show you the Rancor pot. So you throw it and it spawns spirits. We're gonna actually follow him. See? But they went out of range. That's kind of bad. Okay, so the soldiers have taken aggro. So we're just gonna take this one to wail on him. Oh no. That was a bit too much. Let's just back up safely. So he's playing incredibly... He's fighting incredibly aggressively, right? You can shield it, but only to a certain extent. We're gonna buff up, swap to our shield, and get some attacks on him. In theory, you can actually stagger him, but he has significant poise. Guard counters do well against him. Okay, he's gonna swing the sword. We're gonna heal. Nice, good stagger. And we actually managed to stagger him. And let's go ahead and finish this with a crit. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Leonine Misbegotten. And we pick up the Grafted Blade Greatsword. So, if you remember in the last video that I told you that there's gonna be like a reference that's gonna be pretty obvious. So, if you've watched Game of Thrones, this is gonna look familiar to you, right? So, in Game of Thrones, you'll have a throne made of swords. And here you have a sword made of swords, right? So let's go ahead and take a look. The Storied Sword of Castle Morne, a revenger's weapon. It is burdened with oceans of anger and regret, one of the legendary armaments. A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors. And it has a unique skill, Oath of Vengeance. Swear an oath upon the greatsword to avenge the clan, temporarily raising all attributes for a certain duration. While the oath's effects are active, poise will also be increased. So this is considered a colossal sword, so you do need an incredible amount of strength to wield it. So I think you need 30 strength to wield it with two hands, or 25, and 40 strength to wield it with one hand. So since it's a colossal sword, it requires a great deal of strength. Very good sword to pick up in this early in the game for strength builds. Definitely is fun to use, and it has like a standard greatsword moveset. So before we continue, I'm just gonna go ahead and check out behind this tree right here. So if you remember what Edgar, the captain of the castle, the ruler of the castle, said about a weapon he's guarding. So this is the weapon he was trying to guard, but unfortunately has failed. It's a very powerful weapon to be wielded in the wrong hands. So let's see. We have one level worth of runes. So I'm contemplating either Mind or Vigor. I'm actually going to get Mind up to 15. And then we're gonna bump our Vigor up. So for this last part, there is still one more thing we need to do, and that is talk to Edgar to just let him know that we actually found this weapon that he's been trying to protect, and let him know that it's safe. So we're just gonna teleport to the first grace that we found and just talk to him real quick. And then there's one more thing before we need to do before venturing into a whole new area. So don't run here. You probably have the elevator moved up if you didn't die here. So you may fall to your death real quick. The mine that we currently have at our disposal is kind of suboptimal considering the build that we're running, but I'm also concerned about our HP, our vigor, because we need to be able to take a punch, right? So I am kind of concerned. I'm probably gonna cease leveling my offensive stats for a decent amount of time. So the quickest way to get to Edgar without dealing with all this stuff is run past this fire. You're gonna pull the dogs, but you should be able to outrun the dogs. So just run, 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 run. There's gonna be the Mad Pumpkinhead. I'm not sure if he's gonna be triggered or not, but either way... Oh, no, 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 no. I can't see anything. Oh, man, that's horrible. Yeah, just keep running. Hopefully turn on your lantern before you... Oh, come on. Oh, man, that's disgusting. Let me climb. Let me climb. Oh, don't be annoying. God damn it. So just keep climbing up. The Misbegotten is gonna follow you up the ladder, so keep that in mind. But if you don't want to deal with all this stuff, you just run here. This guy's gonna charge at you. Just raise your shield, just in case. Keep running, running, running. And then we're gonna drop off here. Keep in mind they will keep following you all this time. Run past the battle. And up here you can stop and see if the coast is clear or not. They seem to be still following me, so I'll just keep going up. And let's see. We're just gonna crouch here. Let's see if they're still following me. No one here. So they're still following me. So actually, let's go ahead and talk to Edgar. See if they come here, we'll just kill him. We have a nice little open space here. If not, even better.
I'm in your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty. Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her.
That is kind of a sad thing from here to hear from him.
Thanks to you, I will be reunited with Irina and devote my remaining days to her. Irina has a gentle nature, though. I only hope it remains intact. Thanks to you, and devote my Irina has a...
Okay, so that's pretty much it. So he actually lets you keep the sword, but he is just thankful that it did not fall into the wrong hands. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to teleport to the Bridge of Sacrifice, Grace, because that's where we found Irina in the first place. And let's go talk to them, see how they're doing. So we can just go ahead and on top here. So last time we saw her, she was somewhere at the very beginning of this paved road. And we do indeed see a sad turn of events. So before we talk to Edgar, I do want to point something out. So yeah, Irina is definitely dead, but I want to zoom in on this. So if you remember, one of the Misbegottens dropped for us the Iron Cleaver. Fairly large iron cleaver, commonly used by the maltreated Misbegotten. Steeped in resentment, these weapons are swung wildly and relentlessly, often after rushing up to foes. So, given the fact that you can see this weapon next to Irina, it's a fair assumption to make that Misbegottens have got to Irina and killed her in a fit of rage, in their wish for revenge. So let's go ahead and talk to Edgar, see what he has to say about this.
Rena, how could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Arena, it will be done. I'll find a foul.
Okay, so that's all he has to say. So, from this point on, so if you don't give him the letter, I am pretty sure that same thing is gonna happen. The only thing is that I'm not sure if he actually ever figures out that Irina is dead. Because the letter actually said something in the lines of, "Hey, Dad, please come to safety. I'm here. I'm waiting for you." So he would forever potentially think about where she is. She would not. I mean, he probably would not know for certain that she's dead. He would just presume that she's missing. But this is just my guessing. I've never chosen the other option where you don't give him the Renus letter. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. So let me know, guys, if you've done the other way for this quest line. If you have, let me know in the comments what happens and which option do you prefer. So with that in mind, I would like to officially congratulate us for clearing the area of Weeping Peninsula. So there is one more remaining area of Limgrave. I mean, technically all of this is considered Limgrave, but it's split into pieces. So there's only this little area right here. I mean, not so little, but this area right here of Limgrave that remains unexplored. And after that, we're gonna encounter our first legacy dungeon. Our second legacy dungeon and our first main storyline boss. I hope you guys are excited. I am as well. So, you can get to this area right here, the Mistwoods. You can get here via several ways. You can, before crossing the Bridge of Sacrifice, you can just actually jump your way down here. You could actually take this road, close to the bridge where we fought the first Knight's Cavalry. You can take this road, it's going to take you down. Or you can take this bridge right here, and it's going to lead you into the north area of the Mistwoods. I am going to do the following. I'm going to take this bridge right here, and there are two reasons why. One, there's going to be a very important item that we're going to be picking up, and it's closer to the northern edge of the Mistwoods. And two, there is another important area that we can do without technically cheesing. I mean, we will kind of cheese the area, but there are different ways to cheese the area. And I mean, it's all going to make sense. So for the time being, for the remainder of this episode, we are going to be doing some preparation, some maintenance of our character, and some exploration before we venture into the Mistwoods. So we can fight this Mad Pumpkinhead that's actually guarding this bridge. And we will. I mean, why not? We are powerful. So that's kind of a decent radius. So the reason his name is Mad Pumpkinhead is, as you can see, he's not actually aiming at us when he's fighting us. He's just running amok and slamming the ground all around him. He's actually not aware that we're fighting him. He's in a stage of madness and delusion, right? Well, just something to pick up on. So we have officially crossed into the area of the Mistwoods. You can hear a sad violin sound, and that is because we have a merchant right here. So we're just going to go ahead and talk to him.
Oh, dear. I'm terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
Yes, my good sir, I am. We would like to see what you have. So he has a decent amount of things. How many rooms do we have? 1200-ish. We're gonna have to pop some. So we're gonna buy the cookbook, definitely. We're gonna buy the cracked pot, definitely. And we're actually gonna pop, so 200 times 3, 600, and 300, 900. So we're gonna pop 900 more rooms. and buy off the rest of what he has in his inventory. So 900, let's just pop 5 of these, should be fine. We're gonna buy the smithing stones as well.
Oh, is there anything wrong?
There's nothing wrong, good sir. There's plenty of goods that you have that are very good for us. And you have a short sword that you can buy here. You have like a bandit mask. You have the pickled turtleneck and all this other stuff. I'm not gonna buy this, but you can go ahead and buy them. Oh, you have so much to offer, my good sir. And I'm very grateful for that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cookbook we bought. So now we can craft pickled turtleneck, and we can craft poison bone arrows and bolts, which is very useful. And we picked up a note for flame chariots. Beware the fire monk's chariots bearing the face of giants. A well-aimed blow to the chimney on top may prove effective, but opportunities for a plunging attack will be rare indeed. So these fire monk's chariots are gonna come much later in the game. But what they're saying is actually entirely true. If you do a plunging attack from above, you can do like a substantial amount of damage to them, but the opportunities for that will indeed be rare. So let's go ahead and develop like a little game plan of what we're gonna do. So we're gonna explore this area right here, and we're gonna move eastwards. We're gonna move eastward this way. So this is kind of like our goal. This top area right here, this is what we're interested in for the time being. Let's go ahead and take a look. So what I am going to do is I'm actually going to start on this very edge and then work my way back on the other side. So I always like to come close to the edge because there's always like these hidden parts that you can't see unless you're at the edge. And before we go, we can just take a moment to look that this is where the octopi were, that little area, and the high road cave that we've dealt with. So that's what's happening down here. Just so you can guys get a little like perspective of where you are in this beautiful world of Lands Between. Let's go ahead and jump down. Let's take a quick look. We do have a Trina's Lily here, and we love those. We're just gonna go ahead and pick that up. And we have a glowing Scully. That's always nice. So along this edge, I don't think there should be much more besides glowing Scully and a mushroom. 2 mushrooms actually. Huh? Do not mind if I do. And in front of us there's gonna be like a graveyard. And whenever you see a graveyard like this, you can be comfortable in inspecting that there's gonna be Skelly boys awaiting for us. So you know what to do in these situations. Swap to the flail. It's always helpful. So they're gonna... Okay, there they are. They're just gonna start spawning from the ground. So since we upgraded our flail, you can see the amount of damage that we're doing is just substantially different. Like 1 guard counter is all it takes to kill them. And don't forget, with Skellies you do have to double tap, so keep that in mind. We're just gonna get rid of this guy. We're gonna guard counter this guy. And while he's taking the time to resurrect... Oh, so yeah, this actually explodes. We're gonna double tap this guy, and then we're gonna double tap this guy. We're just gonna heal up. Just so we can be topped off. And I'm not sure if that's all of them, but I think that's like either all or most of them. So, with that in mind, let's just go ahead and clear out the rest of this area on the sides. But yeah, we picked up the mushrooms here. We're gonna pick up the golden rune, and we're gonna find a friendly NPC here, sitting next to a slain corpse. So let's go ahead and take a look.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again.
So he does speak before you even approach him, and he is talking to himself, but regarding this corpse. And you can see these little thorns around...
I'm sorry, I cannot give you your proper rights, but at least you did not join those who live in death. Your soul will return to the Earth Tree in time. Honeyed rays of gold deliver this spirit.
So he's kind of trying to say the last rites to this corpse, which has like some spikes coming out of him, and we will find out about the origins of these spikes relatively soon in the game. For the time being, let's talk to the guy, see what he has to say. Let's make an introduction.
Ah, a tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death, and worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further.
See what else he has to say.
The village here has heard.
Okay, so you just gotta repeat this. So every NPC here is just gonna tell you if you value your life, turn back. But you know me, I am living the edgy dream and do not value my life at all. So the village he's actually talking about, let me see if we can see it from here. I think we should go to the side here. Maybe we can see it. It's in the woods right there, like on the lake side. So we're gonna see it, we're gonna approach it, and we're definitely gonna see it. But before we do, we are gonna cruise around on this right hand of the area. And we're gonna talk about what he has to say. So he says that the village here has been touched by death. He mentioned those who live in death, and he is talking about the death root and a lot of death related stuff, right? So those who live in death would be the skellies that you saw earlier, right? Those who live in death are the people who never actually got to rest in peace, so to say, right? So I'm just focused a bit on trying to deal with these bears real quick. So yeah, they're kind of dead, but they live in death, undead, so to speak. And those who live in death are considered in the belief of Lands Between as something cursed, something that is a horrible malformation of life, something that should be eradicated from existence, right? So the person known as D, he told us that he has dedicated his life to hunting those who live in death. So what he does there is kind of hunting those who live in death and trying to purify the lands between of those who live in death, right? So let me just see. So I don't have the map so we can see. So we're just exploring this bottom cliff side of the area before we move on, and I believe we actually were here. What we saw briefly in front of us was the artist shack where we pick up the painting. I do believe so, because this is also the way we went down to that patch of water where the High Road Cave was. So you would go up there and drop down, and you would be dropping on the place where the large octopi are and all that good stuff. So you do have a couple more bears here. I'm not gonna fight these bears anymore. I'm just gonna pick up the Trina's lilies that are here and some gold poop. And we're just gonna run out. There's more gold poop here. So yeah, those who live in death have their own storyline, have their own... Death here has a lot of story in this game, in this lore. There's a lot of things are intertwined with death, and we're gonna be seeing it definitely. So as you can see, we picked up this grace right here, and we picked up this painting right here. So the way you can go up is pretty simple. Just go uphill. I think we should be able to go up. I'm not 100% sure. So let's go ahead and take a look. We have a turtle here. So yeah, we're gonna be seeing much more of those who live in death, their lore, how it came to happen. So unfortunately we actually cannot go back up. So without resting at a grace, what I would recommend us to do in this case is to just jump down. And so we are technically in the Mistwoods, but I am not gonna venture that way. What I am gonna do is, since we're here, let's go rob this graveyard, pick up some golden runes, get some of that good cash money. And we do have an item here that we can pick up of rare persuasion. Go ahead and put it to remains, and we get the Fever's cookbook. We're gonna go ahead and take a look as soon as we get out of this graveyard, because I'm unsure. Usually at these graveyards there's usually enemies that spawn here, and I'm unsure what type of enemies they are and where they are. So once I feel like we're 100% safe, we can just we can go ahead and take a look at the Fever's cookbook. So I'm just gonna run quickly back, pick up the mushroom, and we're just gonna follow this cliffside, and that building, those ruins right there, is one of the reasons that we're interested in taking this northern approach of the Mistwoods. So since we're actually here, we're kind of in luck. Because we can immediately go there. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We did skip an entire piece of northern area.
Hello? Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the true order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, Erdtree, grant me succor.
So I stopped talking because we noticed someone is speaking near us. This is another NPC that we can do a questline for. And so far I have started a part of this questline, and I haven't actually finished it, so I'm looking forward to... I'm just gonna wait for him to talk his thing.
Well, that's very kind, but no. The help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the true order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood.
So, now that I have some time to talk about it, we're gonna actually do his questline as well. He's talking about a fort. We will do it, all of it. Don't worry.
What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Height is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
So you're gonna notice that he's promising us a lot, so we can go ahead and assume that he's very well situated in his life as a noble.
Yes. Now, allow me to furnish you with a little advice. I would take great care to avoid Godric's tarnished hunts were I in your shoes. That depraved lot are obsessed with sacrificing tarnished like you for the sake of grafting. Honestly, Godric's nothing more than a jumped-up country bumpkin. Lord? Oh, don't make me laugh. First, he hid himself amongst the womenfolk to flee the capital, then hid from Radahn in that castle. Then he insulted Melania, lost to her in battle, only to lick her boots rather than die like a man. Has he no shame, the big girl's blouse? And to think, he's the blood of Godfrey, last of the golden lineage. Though you almost wouldn't know it to look at him. Yeah, I almost feel sorry for the chap the more I think of it. What are you waiting for?
So, interestingly enough, this last piece of dialogue is something I've heard for the first time. So, I kind of deeply immersed myself into it. So, he's talking about grafting, he's talking about hunting tarnished. So, in Stormvale, there is like a procedure being done that we will talk about more in the future. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say that the procedure is quite disgusting, and it really sets a tone for what Godric, the ruler of the castle, has become in order to impress his impress his ancestors, who, like Kenneth Hyde said, were of the golden lineage. So, like, pure blood golden order stuff right there, right? So we're gonna see all of it much more in depth. I'm not gonna get into it too much for now. The fort he is talking about is roughly somewhere around here, and we will clear it out. It's a small fort. It's gonna be done super fast, so definitely we will do that and talk to him back. So this is where I wanted to go, the Third Church of America. Let's go ahead, pick up this grace. We don't have to rest, actually. We're just going to pick it up and pick this item up, which is very important for us. Flask of Wondrous Physique. So the game is giving you a little tutorial on what the Flask of Wondrous Physique is, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the item as well, see if we can draw a conclusion of our own. And as you may have noticed, wherever you see a Church of America, you're going to see, you guessed it, a sacred tear. Awesome stuff. So let's go ahead, rest at the grace now. We should have a Melania dialogue as well. There we go. Awesome. Melina, sorry, not Melania.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you?
I'm very interested.
Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
Okay, thank you very much. We will be talking about it as soon as I increase the amount of flasks of flask replenishment. So you may have noticed that you got another option here, and that's a Mix Wondrous Physique option. Let's go ahead and take a look. So this is a flask that has two different effects combined. We're gonna pick up a lot of these effects. You pick them up. Usually it's near the minor earth trees, but it's not always the case. You can pick them up randomly, right? So in this case, we have a Crimson Crystal Tear. Restores half of total HP in Mixed Physique. We have Crimson Burst Crystal Tear. It steadily restores HP for a time in Mixed Physique. We have the Faith Knot Crystal Tear. Temporarily boosts Faith in Mixed Physique. And we have the Opaline Bubble Tear. Significantly negates damage in Mixed Physique. So what I definitely would recommend for the time being, especially given the limited options we have right now, I usually always go with restores half of max HP plus Bubble. So this is going to reduce the first hit you take for like 95%, right? The ridiculous amount of damage reduction. It's like a free hit. Get out of jail free card for a hit, right there. And you use it just like a regular flask, but the thing about this flask is, let me just clear this. So here we have it. I'm just going to put it here. So the thing about this flask is you don't restore it any way other than resting at a grace. You don't kill a group of enemies, you don't kill the scarabs. There's no scarab for Flask of Wondrous Physique. The only way you restore it, by resting at a grace. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at the Flask of Wondrous Physique. A relic of the Physique Chemists, Priests of the Earth Tree. Harnesses the powers of the Crystal Tears, which only form after passage of many moons. Various special effects are bestowed upon the drinker, dependent on the specific picture of Crystal Tears. Rest at a site of grace to replenish. Basins are placed at the feet of minor earth trees throughout the lands between in order to collect their crystallized tears. So this is exactly what I said. You can rest at a site of grace to replenish, and most of them will be found at the feet of minor earth trees. Once you defeat minor earth tree avatars, most of them have minor earth tree avatars. Some don't, most do. And we're gonna pick up a lot. There's like probably between 25 and 30 of different crystal tears, and the effects range from literally anything to everything. Let's also take a look at the Fever's Cookbook while we're here. So we can craft a sleep pot. That's awesome stuff. So we did that. There's only one more thing I would like us to do before the end of this episode, and not use the telescope. So this part is kind of cheese. The only way I'm gonna do it like this right now is because we're kind of coming to a near of an episode, and I think it can be done that way. Okay, so once we start from Church of America, Third Church of America, this is like the entrance. Just follow me. We're just gonna run through it. Run through everything. We're not gonna bother clearing everything right now. We're gonna do it later. We're gonna cover everything later. We are just gonna, let's just kill this carib over here. We pick up the Ash of War Sacred Blade. Oh, this is actually amazing. Very helpful. So, we're gonna take these Spirit Spring ups up. We're not gonna fight anything. We're not gonna clear anything. We're just gonna pick up some items that are like in front of us, but that's pretty much it. And there's a very specific reason why I'm doing all of this. So that church right there is where we're headed. And once we get to a certain distance to the church, it's gonna dismount us because we're gonna get invaded once again. So actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna run around him. There's a grace inside. Run around the invader, pick up the grace, and we're gonna... Actually, let's kill him. We can just go ahead and kill him. So, use Scholar's Armaments. I'm actually gonna start with some Glintstone Stars. We're gonna get some damage out. So this is a very tough Tarnished. This area is officially an area that we are much under level for. And you can see by the damage that we take, it's just a lot. Let's just go ahead and get back. If you play it super safe against Anastasia, she doesn't have a lot of poise. So getting like a hit or two off guard counters is like a sure way of killing her. So the thing that she does with the blade, like striking from above, it's gonna definitely burst through your poise. But we did manage to kill it, so play it safe, dodge, block. It's kind of easy to deal with Anastasia. And we are gonna rest at this specific grace for a very specific reason. Before we do, we're in a smoldering church, and you know what that means. We're gonna have some goodies here. Actually, Medical Cookbook and Missionary Cookbook. I mean, this probably isn't considered a Church of America, so we don't find a sacred tier, but we do find these cookbooks. Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at all of the things we got, and rest at the grace, and this episode. So, Missionary's Cookbook, we can craft a Silver Pickled Fowlfoot. That's an item that boosts item discovery. And we can craft Poison Pot, Roped Poison Pot, and Poison Bolt Darts. And we picked up a Sacred Scorpion Charm, a talisman carried by assassins who strike unseen, patterned on a scorpion freshly shed of its exoskeleton, its claws seizing a heart with a blessed glow. Raises holy attack power, but lowers damage negation. So this is good for faith builds because they're dealing holy damage. If you want to boost your holy damage, you can use this charm. However, keep in mind, it works the same way as the Radagon Scar skill. You do take more damage. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead, touch the grace, rest at it, and you're going to see why in a second.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Roundtable Hole, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
So you get one option to go to the Roundtable Hold. You can either choose OK, obviously, or you can close. I would definitely recommend you select the option to go to the Roundtable Hold, because that's going to be your first official hub of the game for you. So all of the Souls games have hubs. In Bloodborne you have Hunter's Dreams. In Dark Souls 3 you have the, I don't know what it's called, it's like a church, big church. In Dark Souls 2 you have the Majula. So in here you have the Roundtable Hold. Let's go ahead and take a trip to the Roundtable Hold.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
And it's going to teleport you to the Roundtable Hold. And visiting the Roundtable Hold and unlocking it is the next great step for your playthrough. There's a lot of things that you can do at the Roundtable Hold, a lot of NPCs to talk to, a lot of storylines to progress. So let's go ahead and read since we're here. The Roundtable Hold is a place where tarnished gather, guided by grace. Combat is prohibited on the premises due to a pact of non-aggression. This rule is in effect when the Roundtable icon is displayed. The Roundtable Hold is located outside of this world, and fast travel by grace is the only means of reaching it. Use the map to travel there. So, as you may have noticed, there's like this icon, golden icon here. So as long as you have this icon, there's like not a single aggressive action that you can do. You can't even two-hand your weapon. You can't swing in any way. You can't do Ash of War. You can only do movement commands like rolling, sprinting, dodging, jumping, and so on and so forth. Since we're actually nearing an end of this episode, I'm actually gonna leave you guys in a bit of suspense, and in the next episode we're gonna talk to everyone here. We're gonna start a bunch of quest lines. We're gonna see a couple of vendors, and we're gonna invest a lot of time for our first time here. Like it's probably gonna take like at least a quarter of the next episode, but I promise you it's gonna be super worth it. There's a lot of cool stuff to see here, and I'm excited to show you guys. So with that in mind, I would like to thank you all for joining me on another episode of our Elden Ring adventure. I'm your host, the Mad Pumpkin, and I hereby bid you goodbye.